Ito naman mula sa isang faculty member dito sa Katsu. Pres, ano po ba yung tamang gamit ng at par? Tama po bang sabihin sa sentence na ito that he is at par with his global counterparts? Siguro, we have to clarify the correct usage of at par. In this specific example of yours, dapat you should state he is on a par with his global counterparts. Now, in some cases, they drop A. For example, if it's a headline, they say he is on par with global counterparts. So instead of saying he is on a par with his global counterparts, some would drop A. He is on par with global counterparts. Technically, it's used in headlines where you just drop A. For example, Kasparov is on par with global counterparts. That's an example where you drop A because you try to lessen the number of words, especially in headlines, if you're writing headlines. But the correct usage is on a par with. It's a common mistake to say at par with. No? So, kalimutan natin yan. At par with, when comparing two things in terms of quality or performance or abilities, we should say on a par with instead of at par with, meaning that they are on the same levels or of the same quality. Now, there are instances where the use of at par is correct, but this is not when we are comparing two things. Instead, we use at par when we are, for example, playing golf. In such instance, at par here is referring to a noun. In golf, par refers to the number of strokes that a player has to make in order to be within the standard or measure in a certain course. So, par here is used as a noun, and normally if you are a golf player, I'm not a pro but I play golf, we say at par or we are at par. Now in bonds or security instruments, there are bonds and instruments that are issued at a certain par value upon registration or issuance. At par in finance or economics refers to the face value, meaning that it is the amount or the value of a share upon its issuance. For example, upon registration, a share may cost 100 pesos per share. And that is the par value. Now, it may go higher through time because of economic forces or market forces. It may also go lower. If it goes high, then it becomes above par. If it goes lower, then it becomes under par. If the value is maintained, then it is at par. And in which case, the use of the word or the use of the term at par, in this instance referring to the bonds, to the security instrument, is correct. The value of the share is at par in 1987. That is correct. Economists, for example, would say that the stocks are at par value. So referring to the value of share upon issuance. So, for example, years after the cost or the value of the stock may be at par value or above par or under par. So there are instances where they would say it's at par value, in which case the use of at par is correct. But never, when you compare two things, you always say on a par with, meaning that they are of the same level or quality or performance. On a par with, not at par. Not at par. Okay? Oh, by the way, in finance, being under par or below par is not good. It means you're losing. But in golf, if you are under par, that is really good. It means you're finishing the course in just a few strokes. And that's good. Okay, folks, so that's all for now. I hope you learned something new today.